Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're diving into a really interesting set of source materials. It's all focused on one specific real estate offering in Central Oregon called Farmhouse Freedom on Sylvan Loop. Our mission, tailored just for you, the learner, is to quickly pull out the core value here.
Exactly. We've got this stack detailing a property that, well, it tries to balance two things that are often opposites: real seclusion and everyday convenience. We're looking at the language, the amenities listed in the source material. It reads almost like a prospectus, really. We want to understand why these particular things matter so much right now in the Bend market.
That's the key, isn't it? We're not just, reading a listing. We're trying to interpret the blueprint for a certain Central Oregon lifestyle they're selling. And the hook, I think, is the central paradox. What can we learn from a property that manages to combine access to, 13,000 acres of public land?
Right next door.
With being just minutes away from a brand new Costco? I mean, this dive is really about analyzing that promise of country living without compromise.
Precisely. The source material basically lays out a checklist for a modern buyer, someone who wants space but isn't willing to give up easy access to things. So we need to synthesize the data points, defining that freedom, the quiet, the functionality, and maybe ask, are the sources hinting that East Bend is becoming the strategic place to be?
Okay, let's unpack the location right away. 64492 Sylvan Loop. It's east of Bend. And the sources, they really hammer this freedom element right at the start. It's like a geographical anchor.
Yeah, and it's not just marketing fluff. The sources are very clear. The property borders 13,000 acres of Bureau of Land Management land, BLM land. What's really fascinating, I think, is the implication there. This isn't just a big yard.
Yeah.
It means you have this huge, non-developable space right behind you. Forever, basically. The privacy, the open feeling, the views off the deck, they're essentially guaranteed.
And for you, the learner, that's an immediate insight into value, isn't it? I mean, in a place growing like Central Oregon, having a 13,000-acre buffer, well, you can't measure that in square feet. That land, even though you don't own it, kind of defines the property's scarcity value.
It absolutely does. And that scarcity, it leads right into that convenience paradox you mentioned earlier. Usually 13,000 acres of open space means isolation.
Right. Miles from anywhere.
But the source material keeps reminding us again and again that this place is convenient.
I'm really curious about that. The sources seem to be almost shouting it. Freedom and infrastructure.
Yeah.
They specifically call out being close to the Bend airport. That's big for some people, the new Costco, dining, shopping. Why are they pushing that connection so hard, bridging that urban-rural gap?
Well, I think it speaks directly to a key migration pattern in Bend. Buyers moving east are often looking for lower density, maybe some tax advantages, and definitely less traffic than the west side. So by highlighting Costco, the airport, easy highway access, the sources are basically saying, look, you get the peace of the high desert without the usual headaches of being truly remote.
Ah, okay. So it's the best of both worlds, but engineered for, daily life.
Exactly. And the lifestyle promise ties it all together. They talk about quiet streets, friendly neighbors, those amazing starry nights, and peace. But then they immediately ground it back in Bend's identity. Close to the Deschutes River Trail, the old Mill District, all that famous outdoor recreation.
So you get the space for your RV and your bikes, and it's easy to actually go use them.
That's it. They're selling those quiet moments. Coffee on the wraparound deck at sunrise, but assuring you those moments don't cost you an hour's drive for groceries. That successful balance is a major selling point here.
Okay, location nailed down. Let's move inside the main house. The sources describe it as, designed for comfort and efficiency right off the bat.
Yeah, the specs are 2,382 square feet for the main home, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
Analyzing that size. What the source material seems to be saying is, this is the Central Oregon sweet spot. It's big enough to feel spacious, not like those dense new developments, but it's not some massive estate that's a burden to maintain. It feels like a deliberate choice for manageability. And for today's world, with remote work being so common, they made sure to highlight a specific feature, a dedicated office space that actually includes a closet.
Right.
Which seems small, but it kind of legitimizes it, doesn't it? Makes it a functional fourth room. Good for work or hobbies or whatever. It shows they're thinking about how people live now.
And the finish is inside. What's interesting is they signal quality and warmth, maybe moving away from that stark, ultra-modern look you see sometimes. They list granite kitchen counters, premium pergola flooring, which sounds durable and adds character, and that freestanding propane stove. That stove immediately gives it a sort of rustic farmhouse vibe that connects to the property's name.
And thinking about year-round living there, the sources emphasize the heating and cooling. A zone-controlled system with 4 mini-splits. Now, that seems like more than just a feature list item. We should analyze that a bit.
Oh, definitely. Mini splits are a smart move, strategically, especially in Bend's climate. The insight here isn't just comfort. It's about energy intelligence, independence even. The high desert has these huge temperature swings, cold nights, hot days. Mini splits mean you're not wasting energy heating or cooling the entire 2,300 square feet if you're just in the living room or that office.
Right. Targeted comfort.
Exactly. The source material is subtly signaling lower utility bills and better climate control for how you actually use the house.
Plus, they pair that efficiency with the description that every room is bathed in natural light. Sounds well-maintained and purposefully efficient.
Absolutely. But, okay, moving beyond the main house, we get to the feature that I think really sets this property apart in the current market.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this because this is where the analysis gets really critical, I think.
Yeah.
The ADU, the attached dwelling unit, this adds a whole other layer, doesn't it?
It really does. And the sources spend a good amount of time on it. It's described as a complete separate living space, 704 square feet, which is pretty substantial. It's got its own bedroom, a bathroom. They say it's bright, private, independent, but still physically connected to the main house.
The flexibility is obvious, right? Multi-generational living, maybe long-term guests, or crucially, rental income potential. But why do the sources emphasize it so much? Is having an ADU particularly difficult or rare to get permitted out there in East Bend?
Well, that's the key insight for you, the learner. Getting a new ADU permitted and built in Central Oregon.
Yeah.
The zoning, the costs, the time involved, it can be really prohibitive. So having a fully permitted functional ADU like this one, and 704 square feet, is decent, provides immediate, tangible market value. It instantly changes the financial picture of the property. It offers a potential income stream that, frankly, might be necessary for some buyers to qualify in this price range. So it's almost like a risk mitigation tool disguised as a guest house.
That definitely shifts it from just an amenity to a real financial asset. Suggests the source material is aimed at a buyer thinking about lifestyle and return on investment.
And, connecting back to that soul idea, the source material throws in this little personal touch. It says to look for a specific white door in the ADU living room. Apparently there's a story behind it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's the seller trying to convey a sense of history, maybe.
Yeah.
Make it memorable beyond just the specs. Like the ADU isn't just drywall and pipes. It's part of the home's narrative.
That's a nice touch, a human element. Okay, so stepping back outside. The infrastructure seems built to support that very specific Central Oregon lifestyle. Adventurous, maybe project-oriented.
For sure. The anchor feature outside, and this is often non-negotiable for people moving to Central Oregon, is the massive shop. You see that size, and it's not just for parking a car. In that market, you need a shop like that for the RV, yes, but also the drift boat, the mountain bikes, maybe snowmobiles, skis, the whole Pacific Northwest adventure kit. The sources are basically selling readiness for 4 seasons of outdoor play.
Makes sense. And beyond the shop, they list other functional bits, a fenced animal area that ties right into the Farmhouse Freedom name, and lots of outdoor parking, so you're not doing that awkward car shuffle all the time.
Right. And for just relaxing, there's that enclosed gazebo. They mentioned it's perfect for summer evenings. The sources also note the landscaping is mature but low maintenance, which, in the high desert, is key. It means it's likely designed to handle the climate without tons of watering or work.
Which brings us to, maybe, the ultimate peace of mind aspect. The sources really lean into this being a turnkey purchase because of some significant recent investments.
Yes, and this is critical for you, the learner, to understand. The source material specifically points out updates that tackle the biggest, most expensive maintenance worries. Fresh exterior paint and a completely new roof, both done in 2024.
Wow.
It's a huge cost the seller already covered. It directly translates to peace of mind for the buyer and suggests, these owners really took care of the place meticulously.
Plus, the house itself, the structure, they mentioned Hardi-plank siding. We should probably analyze that too. Why is that specific material important in that high desert environment?
Good point. Because in places like Bend, that combination of intense sun, the freeze-thaw cycles in winter, occasional heavy snow, it can just wreck traditional wood siding pretty quickly. Hardi-plank is specifically engineered to resist moisture, bugs, and those big temperature shifts. So if you put it all together, the durable siding, the new roof, the fresh paint, the insight is that this property is built to last and require less upkeep even if you travel a lot.
Okay.
That's the real peace of mind they're selling. And they couple that with an owned and monitored alarm system for security too.
So pulling it all together, synthesizing everything, Farmhouse Freedom on Sylvan Loop, seems to effectively blend that space, the serenity, the soul aspect, and some really strategic security and durability features. We've kind of interpreted the meaning behind the 2024 updates, the Hardi-plank, the value of the ADU, and of course that BLM land border.
Yeah, and what's fascinating, I think, is how consistently the source material manages that balance the privacy versus practicality thing. This property seems purpose-built to let you live life at your pace, whether that means wandering out onto those 13,000 acres of trails or just swinging by the new Costco on your way home from the airport. That juxtaposition isn't an accident. It is the value proposition.
Right. And for anyone listening, for you, the learner, who wants to check the original documents or get more details on the specific Central Oregon property, the source's site Ken Mucha. He's the managing principal broker at High Desert Realty, located at 101 NE Greenwood Ave in Bend, Oregon.